honestly, this is about the second time I've had to do this video. Did it the first time and realized that I left some stuff out, and I just decided, well, you know, after watching a couple of other knife videos, I decided I'd go ahead and reshoot mine. What I want to tell you guys is with my knives, I don't really go on what everybody else says. That's one thing I'd like to get across with this video, is simply I've seen a lot of situations where people will go out and they'll buy a knife, and necessarily it's not the best knife for them, but they're necessarily buying it because of the name or because of a review that you've seen here on YouTube or read it somewhere or something else. The thing about it is with knives, I feel like with knives it's almost the same way with everything else. Well, if I don't have this or if I don't have that, then, you know, I'm not up with the group. I'm not up with, you know, I'm not up to par. I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel that if a knife works for me, regardless of what the reviews say about it, I'll get it. If it doesn't work for me or what have you, it may work for somebody else. It may not. It may be a waste of money, but the only way to know for yourself, the only way to find out if a knife is going to work for you is to get it and try it. Or maybe somebody that's already got one that's like it. I mean, it's, you know, for me, like I said, I don't go out and I don't buy knives based on what's popular, what people, you know, what everybody else is buying. I just don't do that. And with my knives, I've got some knives through some companies that some people say, well, you know, they're lacking, they're doing this, they're doing that, and the quality's not as good as it was umpteenth years ago. And that may be the case. That may be the case. But the knives that I have work for me. So I use them. I'm satisfied with them. Would I tell somebody else to buy the knives that I've got? No. I would, if somebody would ask me about it, I'd simply say, well, here's the situation. I bought this knife. I'm happy with it. But for you to find out if this is the right knife for you, you're going to have to buy it yourself and find out. That's just the way I operate. I don't go on reviews. I don't base my purchases on what somebody else says about a product. If it works for me and if it's something that I like, then that's all that matters, you know, to me. That's all that matters. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head on over to the workbench because the lighting in here is not real good today for some unodd reason. But we're going to head on over to the workbench, and I've got the knives and everything set up, and I'll give you guys a little shot of that and give you a little information on all of them. And after we get done with that, we'll come back and close this video out. Let's head on over to the table, guys. Alright guys, well, here we are at the workbench now, and as you can see, I've got my knives laid out here for you. And these is in no way, shape, or form all of them. This is just some of the main ones that I rely on. I know the camera angle's not too good on this, but you know, we're going to do what we can do with it. Alright, to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this guy right here. Let me get it out of the sheath for you. That's a Jeff White 18th century trade knife. 1095 carbon steel, full tang construction on this thing. Comes very sharp, guys, and I actually have two of these, and I like them. I mean, I think they're old rustic looking, which is really what Jeff White was going with on this particular knife. As you can see there, got the Jeff White logo on it, and it's a good knife. I mean, I use it. That's the one that I use out in the bush. And with this sheath, of course, it's a dangler. Trying to get it in there so you guys can see it. Working in some small spaces today, guys. Alright, Now we'll go over to this guy here. This is my Leatherman multi-tool. It's the older version of it. I've never really found a reason to actually get a newer version of it. This one works for me. It works awesome. There's no reason for me to go buy a newer one. I like this one, so that's what I go with. And as you can see, I got this sheath. I made the sheath, and I've also got a Maglite Mini in here, so that's pretty cool. Now the next thing we're going to go to is going to be the neck knife here. This is probably not what a lot of people would like to see. I've had a lot of people kind of give me a little slack about it. This is actually the Tomahawk, what they call the Tomahawk Raider. It's actually the push dagger, and it's all stainless steel. It's got the Paca wood handles on it. It's 4.5 inches long, and I like the fact that it's all stainless steel. When I bought this guy here, it actually came with an ABS plastic sheath. The sheath was actually crap, and I didn't really like it. It kept falling out, so I ended up making this one out of leather, and I wear this thing almost every day, guys, and I've never had a problem with this thing falling out. It's been very secure. I would wear this anywhere and feel confident that I'm not going to have a problem out of it. Of course, everybody knows what this guy right here is. This is the Gerber Bear Grylls full tang construction. The only thing I've really done on this thing is I changed out the wrap on the handle. I didn't really like all that orange and stuff on it, and of course I added the skull. I'm kind of a scully type person, I guess. I like this knife. I keep it in my bag as a backup knife. I like the fact that you can actually change out the way you can put it on your belt. But guys, it's just, I mean, for me it works out good. I've heard people say that it's not that good of a knife. I've heard people say that it is. It just depends on what you're looking for. And honestly, like I said, if it works for me, I'm not gonna let me move you guys back a little bit. I'm not gonna down it because everybody else doesn't think that that's the knife that somebody should have. So I'm not gonna do that. So we'll move on to the next one, which is actually going to be this one here. Now this stays in my bag all the time. This is actually the Victorinox Voyager. This has actually been discontinued. I tote this knife in my bag as a, you know, just an oh my god, what am I going to do type of knife. And I've also got a smaller Swiss Army knife in my first aid kit just for the scissors and everything else. But this guy here is awesome. It's altogether it's like 3.5 inches long. It's not really heavy, and you know, I like the fact that it's got the clock and everything on it. But like I said, they have discontinued this one. They do have a similar version to this. It's got an altimeter, stuff like that on it, but you know, we're not going to go into that because I don't really need an altimeter. Okay, this is my EDC as far as my everyday carry. This is actually the Victorinox Cadet, all aluminum handles. This is a no frill knives guy. This thing's got 2 blades in it, screwdriver, 2 different screwdrivers, bottle opener, stuff like that. But this is my everyday carry. This is what I keep in my watch pocket, in my jeans every day. I tend to want to carry more than one knife. I think everybody should. But this is the one. This is my EDC here. This is what I tote every day. Alright, now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go up to this guy here. I know anybody, or probably a lot of you guys, have seen this knife. This is actually the Gerber Remix. The weight on this thing is like 4.2 ounces. It's got the titanium handle, the dual thumb studs on it, and it's got the open frame design. When I bought this knife, I actually had one of the older versions of this, and I bought this one because honestly, I like the knife. I like the way it is. That right there, I've read so many reviews that people can't get this knife open with one hand. The blade's too tight, it's this, it's that. Well, you know, the problem with these knives are, a lot of people say, well, you can't loosen or tighten the pivot on these things. Honestly, that's not true, because you can take this right here, stick something in these 3 holes, actually turn this, and this whole thing adjusts your pivot. So that's the way you adjust the pivot on these things, and I like it. I mean, it's a good, comfortable knife. A lot of people talk about Gerber. They talk about how bad their quality has gotten over the years. I've never had a problem with this knife. This knife's never failed me. So going back to what I said, if it works for me, then it's something that I believe in. Then that's what I'm going to get. And that's the Gerber Remix, guys. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move up to this one right here. This is actually the SOG Slim Jim. And this is supposed to be, their words, the slimmest construction as far as an assisted knife available in the world. I don't know if that's true or not. I hadn't really done a lot of research on it. But this thing weighs 2.4 ounces, guys. And it's assisted open. And it's an awesome knife. I like it. And the reason I like it is because of the fact of how high this sits up, which means it sits real low in the pocket, and it's not a bulky knife. You can keep it on you, and you know it's not as menacing looking as a lot of other knives. But like I said, I like it because of the fact that it sits low in the pocket. You don't really have that scrubbing on your knuckles or whatever when you put your hand in your pocket to get whatever you're trying to get out of your pocket. There was a problem with this knife. There's actually 2. There's supposed to be a lock that goes right there. And the problem with that is when you would try to deploy the blade on it, it would actually get up under there and lock it at the most awkward time of when you would need it. So I took that off. I'm pretty careful with my knives, so I took that off. And there's another problem with these knives. I actually contacted SOG with it, and they were like, well, once you get used to operating it, things will change. This is an assisted open knife, and to me, there's got to be a little something wrong with their assisted open, because if you don't give it a lot of pressure, you see how that did? When it gets about right there, it kind of stops. But if you take your thumb and you just hit it pretty good, then it's all right. The only thing about it is somebody with bigger hands, it's hard to get a grip on. If it didn't have this on it, you'd kind of be screwed in that situation, because this is the only thing you really got to hold on to. This does also, you can also change this belt clip to either side you want to carry it, for your carrying preference, whatever pocket you want to put it in. But I like it. It's like I said, it's been an EDC for me for a while, and I'll switch these up a lot of times. But that's the SOG Slim Jim there. Now we're gonna go to my recent EDC knife. This is the Gerber 1304 Blackwash. It's got the assist open. This actually came in a kit that Walmart had. It was like a kind of a, let me see if I can get this in there. It was kind of a Christmas gift set type deal. And I like it. I mean, it's a little heavy. with this one, it comes in at 5.7 ounces. I mean, it does have the frame lock on it, and this one too kind of sets kind of deep in your pocket and stuff. It's got the Tonto style blade on it, and but this has been my everyday carry for a while, ever since I got it, honestly. And I mean, I like it. It's bulky, like I said. It's got a lot of weight to it. If honestly, I think if I had to depend on any one of these knives as far as these go, I think this would be the one, but for comfort it would have to be this one. I would not recommend, I don't think I would stake my life on this particular knife, but this one I would feel comfortable doing it. I know a lot of people, they tend to say, well, you know, that's kind of it's kind of a budget knife. It's this, it's that, you know. But regardless of the fact, this is a Kershaw, this is a SOG, this is a Gerber, these are two Victorinox, this is a Bear Grylls. Regardless of the fact, like I said, whatever works for somebody else may not necessarily be exactly what I want. So I don't really go on reviews that much. But again, I'll try to stack them all up where you guys can see them. That's the Jeff White there. That wouldn't have happened in any other thing except for this video. That's my neck knife, and then that there. Now, out of an EDC, this is what I wear. This is what I take with me. A lot of times I'll take this. This goes in my bag. This is in my EDC bag. This is actually like in my overnight bag, what have you. But any of these can be switched out to suit whatever, you know, I need. And of course, this little guy here stays in my watch pocket all the time. So let's head back over to the other area over here, and we'll finish this thing up, guys. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed just a little look into my knives. Like I said, that's not nowhere near all of them. I am a type of guy that if I see a knife, I like it, I buy it. And not that I would depend on these knives. I buy them as far as cool factor goes. I do have my categories to where it's knives that I would depend on, knives that are just cool looking. So I didn't put them all up there. And the ones that I just showed you are really the ones that I really depend on the most. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from on it. It's like I said, don't go out and buy knives just strictly because somebody else has got it or this has got a good rating as far as people goes. You know, as far as their reviews go. Get the knife that's right for you. Get what you want. Not just because, you know, so-and-so's got it or that's what everybody else is getting. Don't do that. If it's something that you like, regardless of what people think about it, if it works for you, that's what you get. And it's like I've heard plenty of people say, the best knife to have is the knife that you have on you. If it works for you guys, get it. I mean, that's the do all end all of this whole thing. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up now. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I think this is Monday, so over the past weekend we've had a lot of rain and hadn't really been able to get out and do a video. I've been wanting to get this video shot for a while, but it's just been, the weather's been real bad. We had some bad storms come through, and just couldn't get out here. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend and everything. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Of course, without you guys, there really wouldn't be a reason to be doing these. Tell your friends about it. We're still needing to build up some subscriptions on this channel. I'm trying to get better at doing the videos and everything. Should be come up pretty soon. We should be doing some fire videos, stuff like that. Also would like to show you guys what I found in my backyard, digging up some stuff. So we'll shoot a video on that probably when we start doing the fire videos and everything like that. But again, guys, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Tell your friends about it. If you like what you see, subscribe, hit the like button, send me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear what you guys think. I try to get back to you if you send me a message on YouTube. I try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. So I appreciate all that. And guys, check back in for more videos. They're coming. And we'll see you next time on the Lifestyles of the Southern High Lifer. Have a good day, guys.